Beware of people with fake confidence. It is a very dangerous place to be. Now, what is up, winning team? Hello, everybody. Before I get into this any further, I want to say something important. In life, you don't actually have to be confident, okay? You may have to be courageous. God calls us to be courageous, but you don't have to be confident. Okay. And so what I'm about to say, I don't want you to assume that I'm trying to say that everybody needs to be confident. Everybody needs to be whatever degree of confidence is correct for whatever God placed you for. And that's across the board, across the scale. And that's why I believe truly, if for leaders, when people are leading a group, you should always account for everybody's degrees of confidence. You shouldn't expect the less confident person to just gain all this confidence for the sake of it. If that's who they are, you should love them, help them, support them, and utilize them for the skill set and who God created for them to be. In the same way, if somebody's got a lot of confidence, you shouldn't be knocking them down, right? Because you can't handle it. You should be able to harness it, help it, encourage it, find how that works for the group project that we're working on, and everybody in between the scale. So I want to just start with that because I don't want anybody to feel like, I know a lot of people would not consider themselves confident. I don't actually consider myself to be confident. I know that's going to sound surprising. The thing is, I have faith, and that's where I say, look, get faith in God. Because with God, I find myself, a lot of the things I do, I'm just like, I don't know how I damn near did that. You guys will know the best example being going to Italy to sing, because what the hell was I thinking? And you all saw me panicking. So knew I was not feeling confident, but it got done. And that's because that's called the power of God and having faith, and how the Holy Spirit will just give you that nudge and that power to do something that you didn't think you could do. So that's also the other thing. If you do feel like you wish you had more, listen, just ask the Lord. But also, you do have to push yourself a little bit. And I do encourage you to listen, life's too short to not go confidently. Like I say, winning is for the taking. A lot of people in life who have the things that they have is purely because of overconfidence, what others would perceive as overconfidence. That's why I actually kind of like having really actually genuinely confident people in my life, which is why I'm talking about fake confidence in a minute, and why it's so problematic. Because then when you're around people who are truly confident, it's quite powerful to watch them just do their thing and how they go about life and just make things happen. You can either sit back and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I could be as confident as you, or you could take advantage and say, wow, I'm so inspired. Like I told you guys, I've mentioned this story so many times of the time I was being paid to do this job and they were paying me a certain amount. I was working as an event planner, and somebody I knew, I had observed them like talking in the job that they were doing, like in the work they were doing. I'd observed them every single time negotiate more and more money, and just not have any care in the world to negotiate more and more money. And I thought, that's sick. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I wish I was confident enough to do that. So instead I said, like, and guys, you don't know how it was for me that day. I was like, I set up the meeting. I was going to go and do it face to face. I sat with the CEO, the COO, and one other person from the thing. And there was just 3 men in there and then me, right? And bearing in mind, I'm all like 21. Let's just talk about that part for a second. In fact, I was probably like 20. And so I've come into the offices yet, and I'm thinking, who do you think you are? But then I was like, I knew I deserved the money, and like, it's winnings for the taking. I'm either going to just take what I'm getting, or I'm going to ask for what I deserve. Boy, was that one of the hardest things I ever did. But the fact that it worked, I was like, winning is for the taking. That's why I always remember that story, because it's always reminded me how you just got to go for it sometimes. And that's why I don't be hating when I see other people having things, because I'm like, they might have just done what I wasn't prepared to do. And if they did, bravo to them, no haters over here. Now, having said that, like I said, it's not for everybody and not everything's for everyone. Okay. But don't let your confidence stop you from the things you could have in life, something good. Some opportunities are not going to circle back around. That's what I've realized as well. Sometimes some opportunities are not circle back around. And boy, have there been opportunities where I wish I'd had confidence. Oh, Jesus. We could really talk about that one, let me tell you. But anyway, so on to the people with fake confidence. Now, given everything I've just said, confidence, whatever scale, I think is a good thing. Whatever it is, because it also creates balance. If you have a room full of overconfident people, it doesn't really help. It helps to have a scale. It helps to have somebody who likes to do all the talking, who's overconfident. Even me, I like those people. I prefer those people because I don't like to be at the forefront. I don't like to be in the center. I like to kind of be there, you know, but I don't want to. So when I have somebody that's way more confident than me, that's taking everybody's attention, I'm like, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Praise Jesus. Like, you know, God thought of me that day, you know? And at the same time, I love talking to people who are less confident because I've helped a lot of people build their confidence. They've said that to me. I remember one time, this is the time that, oh my gosh, this is one of the most precious stories ever. And if I could be bothered, I'd get the card to show you. But I've told the story before, but it's one of my proudest moments of my life. When I had a group of kids, yeah, they were all in year 12, so like age 18, whatever. We were doing a summer school for chemistry. They're all about to go to uni. And so we were teaching them, me and 3 other students, and our lecturers were basically teaching them. It was a sick job. The fact that I got paid to do stuff like that was so freaking cool, by the way. But anyway, so when they started out, they all came in because they were all like 17. And they're all shy, and they're all there. And obviously they're all science. Like, I always stuck out like a sore thumb, started studying science, like, especially the further I went. Everyone always looked at me like, why are you here? Like, you don't look like you're supposed to be here. Like, and it's just like, you know what? But I love it here, and I love you guys. That's the thing. I was so sad. Can I just say I was so sad to never be truly accepted amongst these groups, because I genuinely loved everybody there, but I just felt like people treat me like I did this. Like, why was I there? And like, how did she get here? And this is just so rude. Like, you just didn't have to do that. Like, you could have just... I loved everybody, and I really did. And the thing is, it was actually shown when I was at school, because I was actually friends with... I got to the point by the end of school where I was friends with everyone. Like, was friends with everyone. And I remember there was this one guy, yeah, in class. He goes to me. He was like, you know, if you didn't hang out with your friends, you'd be so much more intelligent. And that was one of the greatest compliments I ever heard. I can't remember who it was. Was it? I won't drop a name just in case, you never know. But yeah, so I have this group of kids, yeah, they're all really shy and quiet. And I was just like, they're so precious, you know what I mean? Anyway, so by the end of this week, bro, I didn't realize, but I went into creative director mode, right? Because sometimes when I get my hands on situations that I feel invested in, or a group of people, or like something, I just kind of go off the rails. And now that I think about it, I remember my lecturers standing there with their arms crossed looking at me like this, like, here she goes, because obviously they knew. Shout outs to them. They were so supportive of everything I was doing. They loved it. They honestly loved it, right? Anyway, so I've gone and done my thing, because we had to do a presentation, mate, at the end of it. And I was like, well, presentation. We're doing a production. We're doing a production value, because we had footage from us in the lab. We had experiments we did all this. We learned all of that. Listen, it started at the beginning. I had a whole group. These kids were all quiet, like at the beginning of the week, yeah? By the end of it, every single one of them had a line, had a scene. We had singing, we had dancing, we had this scene here, we had this person was doing the YouTube video, we did this, and it was incredible. And the thing that made it incredible was we had to present in front of the other subjects, in front of law, in front of this, in front of this, in front of this, yeah, business, here. When we did ours, first of all, I was like 4 times as long as everybody else's who just came and did a PowerPoint. Well, second of all, the room was silent. And the kids, and the thing that got me was this card. Oh my gosh, do you know what? I'm going to see if I can actually find the card. Hold on. Okay, guys, so I found my little pouch thing where I keep all my memorabilia. These are all the things I never want to forget. Also, while we're here, I just want to show you this, because I got this in Zimbabwe. I love that this is my channel and I have free will and I can detour at any time. Look at this. I bought this. This was made by, I bought this from the artist himself. This is in 2018. Look at this. Wow, it looks better in person, obviously. And it did have a frame. I just thought it was deep how the kid was holding. You see that? There's just so much layers to this image. I'm not going to get into it, but he's holding just the head of a child. The one in the back looks skeptical. The one in the front is pointing. Oh, there's so much depth to this image. I won't get into that today, but yes, this was done in literal, like, I think charcoal. Also, the guy that was selling it, hey, he was handsome. My auntie even was like to me, I think he's feeling you. And I was like, listen, I can't be moving to be there. Listen, your parents will never accept me anyway, okay? I've grown up in the West. I'm never going to be a good enough daughter-in-law. So just give up that dream. But yeah, it was gorgeous, I will say. It was gorgeous. And of course, look at him, he's talented. Yeah, just want to say thank you. Oh my gosh, here it is. Guys, when I tell you I cried, because I never expected anything, obviously. This is to say thank you for being a great help and really helpful throughout the week. Thank you for the tips and advice you gave us. This week has been amazing. Thank you again. I wish you the best of everything. Thanks for everything. You were amazing this week. Thank you. Oh gosh, you made this week's look a lot more enjoyable. Thank you for being so supportive and engaging. Thank you so much. Your enthusiasm and kindness has been really inspiring. This stuff really gets to me, guys. Thank you so much for your constant support. Like, this is all these kids, guys. This is what I'm saying. Just be nice. Thank you so much for all the help and advice you've given me. This week went so quick with all your jokes. Good luck with your new job. Thanks for everything you've done for us this week. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for this amazing week. I learned a lot and I wish you all the best after your graduation. Oh my gosh. This is just crazy. Oh, you were the first person I met and you really made me comfortable. Hope you finish Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, because we were talking about anime in the lab and they were telling me their favourite episodes of One Piece. Not One Piece, Naruto, their favourite characters, and they were roasting me because I didn't have the latest scientific calculator, which I then did go and pay £45 for it after this. Thank you so much for sharing your precious time with us. It's been the best time of my life. I learned so much and will use all the wonderful advice you've given forever. Guys, this is so emotional. I can't read any more of this. But yeah, God, these guys, right, look at it. Look at it. And like at the start of the week, they were just a bunch of kids who were just all quiet and shy and they didn't know each other because they're all from different schools and they were all just hanging out together. And I don't even know what the hell I even did, to be fair. I feel like I was just, I don't know. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and this is what I'm saying, guys. This is why I say, like, it's really important. Like, you can bring the best out of people despite everything. And the fact that they were all saying they felt supported and like they were having fun. Thank you for the jokes and the acting tips. The acting tips, you know. You would think that they'd gone to drama school for the week. But this is what I'm saying about the importance of, like, you know, when I say about the importance, confidence is an important thing. And so it's important to encourage people also. Like, I know I'm saying a lot, guys, but because this is important and because I feel like confidence is one of those things, it's got a lot of connotations. You guys know how I feel. Confidence a lot of times is likened with arrogance or also courage. And I think those are three different things. Arrogance for me is more likened with delusion. Yeah. As in, you're just, who do you actually think you are? Like, actually think you're just arrogant. Somebody like, what's his name? Ashton Hall, you know, the one who raced ISO Speed, and how he lost and how, you know, he was just being a bitter person. It's like, bro, you're just arrogant. Everything you do now, we can see comes from arrogance, you know, whereas I would describe ISO Speed as somebody who's confident, as in, like, he knows himself because he trains himself. So when he's out here running in Africa, racing cheetahs, racing the 2020s men's first place gold medalist from the Olympics, and he's beating them, and he's beating professional boxers, and he's doing all of this. Bro's not, you can't call bro arrogant because he has the things to bring up to it, you know. If anything, I'd more describe him on the side of courageous, as in somebody and that's the good side of it, you know, where you're willing to try. But yeah, I've always wanted to share this with you guys. So while I was talking about confidence, I'll do this because that's what was the most beautiful thing to me about this is these guys, some of them like didn't even speak, I think, the first day. I wish you the best of luck on your future career path. Get the shmoney. I actually love this so much. But yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I know what I'm talking about. Basically, is basically what I'm saying when it comes to this, and I've always wanted to share this with you guys because it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. But yeah, anyway, and so now we're going to switch to what the video title was actually about. Now, there was a reason, like I said, guys. I have to be clear as to why we're doing all of this, because if I don't, like I said, people hear what they want to hear. People think what they want to think. I don't know. But the important thing is, people with fake confidence. So fake confidence. Now, this is where we're talking about the kinds of people who you think you're on the same wavelength. So this is what I'm saying. You think you're on the same wavelength. You think you're like this has happened to me in life as well, where I think I'm me and somebody else. Like, okay. I'll give you a scenario. Sorry, I'm rustling this because I'm putting things back. And there's so many good memorabilia in here. I should show you guys all the stuff in here one day. I really should. Oh, if you guys want to see this, I'll show you. Hold on. Actually, no, that's actually so cringe. Let's just put this away. Tell me if anybody else wants to see what's in there, because some of it's so cringy, but some of it's really wholesome. But anyway, I'll give you a scenario. Yeah, it would be like, I've got to think about something that's not just things that only I relate to. Brother. Okay, that's still something only I would. Let me try and think of an example that's far away from things that I do. Hold on a second. Okay, this is potentially a really horrible example, but we're gonna try anyway. So imagine you're an artist, yeah, as in like a painter, and you and your friends hang out and are having, and have been for years and years, in painting. You're all like just a group of painters, right? You all have sold work, you get work commissioned, yada yada yada. And as far as we're all concerned, we all call ourselves painters. We all love each other's work. We all respect each other's craft, each other's, special way of doing this, special way of doing that. And it's all wholesome vibes and it's all healthy. Then you and as a collective, get invited to have a 1 week exhibition, right? A 1 week exhibition where the public is going to come in and they're going to be able to vote on which was their favorite, maybe, or top 3 favorite pieces of the week. Let's say I'm just making. Oh, I just got a notification. Marcus has just uploaded a video because, of course, it's Easter and the tomb is open. I don't know if I want to talk about Easter. I ain't gonna lie, because low key, 50 days from now when it's Pentecost and the Holy Spirit fell, that's the part that we still haven't done all these thousands of years later, when we're now supposed to go and do what Jesus was doing. But so, of course, everybody's going to be celebrating today and having their Easter, right? Of course, right? Then what? Then going back to being slaves in Egypt. So, yeah, so imagine you're in have an art exhibition, yeah, and you guys are all going to have an exhibition. So this, to me, this would be sick. If I had a group, you guys know me, I've always been the type of person where I want to just have a group of people with different, I've always had friends with different everything. Even now I do. You know what I mean? I have friends with different everything. I have friends all over the world. They're all in different kinds of jobs. You know what I mean? I have everything from one of my friends, she's a stay-at-home mom with 3 young kids. Another one of my friends, she's a real estate agent. She sells houses. You know what I'm saying? I got another, you know what I mean? I have people all over the show, all different ages, and I love it because this is what I think makes the world a beautiful place, that everybody's just their self and they're just different and they're just beautiful. And every single one of you is beautiful and fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image. You know what I mean? And that's why I love getting to know people. So I love being in a group setting where we're all doing something, but everybody's got their own pizzazz. Reminds me of dance, and when you're in a dance scene and everyone's dancing, everyone's got their own way that they dance, their own dance style. And I was just thinking, it was low key. It was so cute one day when the dancers were like, "Oh my gosh, this feels like such a you routine." I was like, "There's a thing like such as a me routine." Why are you guys the best people ever? Anyway, this is what I'm saying. I've come across some of the most preciousest groups of people in life that I've almost overdosed on the good people, that when I'm around others, it's so overwhelmingly clear that I am. But anyway, you're in a group of artists. You all do your own thing. Your arts are all a bit different. You're not all necessarily all in the exact same places, but you're all successful in different ways. Maybe one of you's more traditional art. One of you's more abstract. One of you does more portraits. One of you does only nature. One of you uses, a pen, what do you call it? What are they called? What are they called? A pen, whatever. One of you likes to use watercolors. One of you likes to use chalk, Let's imagine. But you're a collective that works together, or at least a group of friends. And then there's an opportunity for you guys to have an art exhibition. Somebody bumps into you somewhere. They see you guys at your studio. They come and like, "Hey, I've just opening up my new building and I would love to come and have you guys and have this art exhibition. It would be really cool." and yada yada yada. Now obviously you would be thinking, yeah, this is our moment, I can't wait for us, all of us, to shine. Like in my mind I'd be thinking, this is just gonna be so cool, I can't wait to be with the gang, I can't wait for us all take pictures with our, like, there at the thing with like all of our different artwork in the background. I can't wait to do you know what I mean? I can't wait to see what pieces you guys come up with. This is how I've always been, and this is why this world has been an excruciating place to live, because I've realized that a lot of people are about to be like the type of person I'm about to describe. This is the person that will linger there in the group you won't realize. The person who always felt like everybody else was better and they just weren't good enough. The person who has been playing along with this whole game, has been a part of this whole emotion, this whole thing, has been walking around confidently with the collective. They've never talked about their insecurities. They've never opened up, right? Which, not to say that which they should have. This is why I'm a big believer in speaking about your insecurities. It doesn't take away from the confidence, doesn't take away from the strength, doesn't take away from anything. In fact, it makes you stronger, because it's actually more courageous and more difficult to say the uncomfortable things than it is to pretend. It's way more easy to pretend, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of courage to be open and be honest. It takes a lot of bravery to talk about things, because you're opening yourself up, potentially for people to be able to do whatever. So once again, to you guys, this is why I'm a big believer in like sharing my insecurities with you guys, because it's like, oh, let's not think it's all that glitters is gold, okay? I don't want to be like one of those channels, where you go on these channels. This is why, yeah, I love that my channel is not like in some studio with some wherever where I come in and everything is crisp, every I is dotted, every T is crossed, everything is perfect. There's a perfect beginning, introduction. Because you know why? That's not a reflection of how I actually am in my life. Yeah, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. Okay? Okay. Now, this person might not seem very problematic at this stage. You say, just like how people think having a jealous friend isn't that deep. You think. But imagine now, once doing this exhibition, the person who invited you, little did you know, they had their friend who they've known since high school, who happens to own a museum and who happens to own an art museum, right? And happens to have connections with the Louvre and the freaking whatevers. I don't know, I can't think of any more. Oh, the Tate. I can't believe I've never been to Tate Modern. Low key, should I do a vlog and we go to Tate Modern? Because how have I not been to Tate? Everyone's been to freaking Tate Modern, and I've never been to freaking Tate Modern. But anyway, it's a museum in London, art museum. Anyway, and so they are coming to the thing. Little did you all know, and you have this friend who's secretly insecure, who's secretly building a bit of jealousy, secretly looking at the rest of you as arrogant, like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, walking around so confidently, blah 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 blah? Who do you think you are? Like, you might be saying, because I feel like I'm in for a shot to win. I feel like I'm in for a shot to win. Like, that's healthy. I think in any healthy team where you all are like have managed your issues and are all healthy, confident people, everybody can believe in themselves to become number one, and then also everybody still believe that for themselves, and that not be a competitive thing, because you should want to win. You should want to win, and that's how it should be. And I should want to win, and we should all also be happy then with whoever wins, because whatever, it is what it is. It was your time. Like, so I'm saying about real confidence, you don't have to have any like kind of validation or whatever, but it's always the people feeling sorry for themselves. So then now this person comes in, and this is what the kind of thing that will happen. And you guys are having the exhibition, and you don't know this person's coming to visit this museum person who's actually looking to spend some big bucks, and in fact actually hire some people to do a huge commission in the 9-figure area, yeah, for the next whatevers. And they come in, and you don't know they're coming. So throughout the week, this loser person, we're gonna call them a loser, okay? Because faking confidence is actually loser behavior. I know they don't say that in the world. There's always fake it till you make it. And to that, there's an extent to that. But only if you're faking it to make it is only to help you do something, not for you to then have a chip on your shoulder if it doesn't work. Does that make sense? Are we listening? Are we understanding? I hope so. So now you get yourself, you're all watching, the customers. You're spending a lot of time at the museum. You're not telling anybody. Obviously, you're not telling them who the artist is, because you just want to kind of organically see what people are saying. Different people are getting different whatevers. And obviously this other person, this loser individual, is going to fixate on whatever is negative, whatever they're not getting, they probably might not even be looking at how many they're getting. They're just noticing that one of you or two of you or three of you is getting all these people standing there one time, and then they're off in anger and whatever. They haven't even really looked at what's happening with them, right? That's what I'm saying. So now, yeah, when it's coming to the grand finale day, where it's going to be the big day where they're going to tally up everything and there's going to be a big event, this loser individual might decide to go on a bit of sabotage. That's what I'm saying. Any type of loser behavior, it always ends up circling itself back to delusion, jealousy, and death, and just destruction. That's in the same way that any type of winning energy always circles itself back to truth, wisdom, light, and life. It always trickles back to the same thing. That's how that works, you guys. That's why we don't tolerate loser behavior in any way, shape, and form. Because as long as you guys are around, you're always going to clash, and so one is going to overpower the other. And so if you're the one in the winning side, and you're on the side of the kingdom of light, you're just going to get to the point where that energy is just such a stench that you're going to have to remove it. And by remove, separate yourself. But how in the losing side, the light side is going to start to shine so brightly that you are going to want to snuff it out. And this is what I don't think people understand, right? And that's how it works with people. And that's why, again, I think it's incredible to see groups who are able to rise in success and there not be jealousy. Like I say, with the Sidemen, who when they were all rising, they now are all rich. But it started out, KSI was super rich, and then Vic Star was kind of rich, and then he was rich for a while, rich, and then they were all not necessarily anywhere near as rich. But now they've all plateaued up to where they're all just filthy rich. I mean, KSI is definitely still the richest, and maybe even also Vic Star. I don't know, probably still KSI, only because he's done more things. But you get what I'm saying? Takes a lot for people to actually get through that. So now you guys as a group, you're all excited, right? You've all got your outfits together, what you're going to wear for the grand finale event of this whole art exhibition. And this guy comes, little did you know. And when this loser individual decides that because they want to win, or because they think it's not fair, because they think you're just arrogant and you need to learn a lesson and you need to be humbled. Because this is how these people be acting, yeah? They decide to sabotage, and maybe they go and do something to your peace. And then this person comes along. Now, what you're thinking now, I'm not even going to go for the option of you get disappointed because you don't win because of the sabotage. Oh no. I'm going to show something even worse about having somebody like that in the group. This now investor, art expert extraordinaire, millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, comes over and looks at the pieces and is loving them and says, you know what? I would have paid 1 trillion for all of these pieces if it wasn't for the fact that that one had this on it. And I just see it as one piece, because I could really read the friendship across the thing, and that for me is what added the value. But there's just something about that just makes me feel like that just disconnects it. And for me, because you guys, you'll be surprised how people with a lot of money behave, and how perceptive, and how, because this is what I'm saying, people who are like wealthy and all of this, yeah. And you might wonder, how do you know that if you've never been super wealthy? First of all, I've been around a lot of wealthy people. That's number one. Second of all, because I study them. Because unlike people who hate on people with wealth, I'm like, well, I study what the things that they do and what do they do differently. You know what I mean? And one thing I've noticed about a lot of super wealthy people is they're very, again, because of the winning aspect, they know how to see something that's working, and they know how to see something that's doomed to fail. A lot of people, because that's how they got where they got. So it's like, if they can suss there's a disjointedness here, it might not work. But maybe they were going to commission all of you and be like, hi, I actually want to do this huge, the largest art exhibition ever seen. It's going to be a 5-year project. I'll take all of you with me. We're going to Dubai for 5 years. If you guys are interested, everything will be paid for you. You only actually have to be in, as long as you get the work done in this time, you guys can do whatever you want. You'll also be getting paid. You know what I mean? And then you're like, oh, but can we do this? Like, no, honestly, it was going to be today. I was just down for the weekend. I'm going to be busy the rest of the time. And honestly, this is an all or nothing deal for me, because it just doesn't make as much sense. And so then now this person who was faking it, yeah, there's something about faking confidence, because you're all thinking we're going level to level to level, we're all confident together, we're all like, yeah, we're making it, but then somebody's secretly harboring feelings. This is something, feelings like, insecurities, right? And all of this, they can go one way or another. Like I said, you can either take your insecurities and you can deal with them over here in the winning side, yeah? And you can say, oh, I'm realizing now that as I'm doing this, when you're watching it, is that me going right or left? This is left. This is right. So you guys are seeing me going right? Oh gosh. Anyway, I mean to put the good things on the right side. But anyway, you gotta take your insecurities along the way and say, guys, you know what? You guys have been doing such good work and I've just not been feeling like mine's good enough. And then which point it'll be a time for everybody to go, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Your piece has been my favorite. In fact, your last piece was the one that inspired me. And then that would help dissipate that feeling. And also that's a healthy way of working in a team. We don't all have to all pretend everything's fine all the time. Or you can just let it fester. And then that's when the devil's like, well, hello, nice to meet you. I got a couple of friends who might want to come in here. Bring them in. Introducing the spirit of envy. And then it's coming in like into your life. And because you let it fester, yeah, you were like opening the door. Come in. And all this other stuff, right? Resentment and resentment's like coming in. Yeah, all these demons start to enter the thing. This is what I'm talking about when you guys want to talk about dealing with things and when you have to deal with things when they come up. Otherwise, you're either going to deal with it and then you're going to deal with it. Because it doesn't even have to be that you tell them or anything. You just go and say, you know what, I'm feeling insecure. That person isn't doing so. Sometimes it's just a case of you talking to yourself. I had a situation like this a couple of days ago where I can't remember what I was doing. I was just watching something, yeah. I was like, oh, I don't really like this. And then in my head, I was like, are you being a hater? Are you hating on what you're watching? And I clocked myself immediately. I was like, oh, I'm now going to fully watch this, whatever this thing was, right? Because I felt like I was hating. And I was like, don't love that from you. Don't love that from you and don't encourage that within yourself. So you're going to now go and watch that thing that you were just hating on just now and whatever. And after the fact, honestly, it was literally a fleeting feeling that because I just didn't let it fester. Whereas if I'd had that again and then 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 again and again and again, then it would have become something. And then all of a sudden I would have turned into a hater for no good reason. And that would have affected my behaviors and things that were happening to me. Because circling back, I found myself in a situation was this the same situation like this? Hold on, let me think about it for a second. Okay, we're not doing another example. I think you guys get the gist. You get the gist. Okay. And so, yeah, you guys get the point. The moral of the story of everything that I'm saying is that when we've got healthy people, and people who are all healthy in the same room together, magic can happen and everybody can walk away feeling fulfilled, succeeding in whatever it is that they set themselves out to do, which is why I gave you guys the example of what happened at the summer school thing. Didn't matter anybody's level of confidence, didn't matter whatever. We were all just a vibe. We were all good. We were all on the same page. The lecturers were happy that people enjoyed the thing. The kids were all happy that they got to have a lot of fun, learn some science, push themselves a little bit out of their comfort zone. I got to have fun, to feel like anything I do is actually valuable and actually produces anything at all, because sometimes it feels like no matter what I do, I don't produce any helpful outputs in this world. Everybody left feeling amazing, you know what I mean? Whereas in the example that I made up, there's one person who just couldn't, because going back to what I was saying before, imagine that my lecturers were just like, oh, we're not going to support this, how you guys are doing this because we don't think this is right. Or imagine I was like, now you guys, you better listen, okay? I was your age once, and this is the tough place. Is it imagine I was just toxic, you know what I mean? Imagine I was just toxic and I was just this. Imagine any of that had happened. The thing that turned out. This is why I talk about teamwork so much. The way things turned out would have been so differently if anybody had behaved differently. But it was the fact of the respect in the room, everybody understanding where everybody's coming from, everybody accepting everyone for who they were, and how that just enabled positive things for everybody involved, you know, and how, like I say, I've been realizing in the last couple of weeks especially that it really do be like one usual person in a group scenario that ruins it for everybody, because I'm literally seeing that happen with somebody else I know, where there's one person who's just been hiding something that they were thinking. It's not even happening to me, and it's actually happening to a guy that I know. So I'm surprised. I'm actually like, wow, this is so nice to, not it's nice for them, but it's like it's nice for me to see it happening outside it, like, as in, like, I'm actually not crazy that this happens, because it's exactly the same things I tell you guys about. Somebody harboring some feelings in silence in a group setting that they then start to show or act out in some way that ultimately leads to a loss of opportunity for the group, or the group breaking up itself, which in this case it's the group breaking up itself for this person. And it's just really sad, because they were always, you know, this person that I know, I always thought they had such a cool friendship group of just so many different kinds of people. And so for all of this to happen for somebody, and there's not even still been a confrontation, because this person's a coward. Again, you see what I'm saying? Cowards, why we can't be cowards. You either got to deal with your problems alone if you're not bold enough to stand up to people, or you better find the courage to stand up, because if you're just going to build up things and then start giving off loser behavior, that's not just good enough. Anyway, that's enough of this video, I think, isn't it? You guys have you had enough of me yappeting at you. Actually, I don't know how some of you are still here. Anyways, I'm genuinely thinking of showing you guys the stuff in the memory lane thing. I don't know that that's a good idea. I'm going to have to take a little peep and then we'll return. But anyway, nevertheless, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm just giving you different versions of basically the same message, which is just don't ever tolerate losers, whether it's jealousy, whether it's this. Because you might think it's not a big thing. And like I said, if somebody knows they're not very confident, but they're okay with it and they're accepting in it and they're vocal about it, that's fine. But if somebody's pretending and then you blindly think, oh yeah, everybody's fine, everything's fine, and then you don't know, that's dangerous, because then they start having that dangerous behaviors. It's like when, you know, it's like, reminds me like when I used to actually go out with girlfriends, and we used to go and do stuff, and, you know, and at the time we'll be there getting ready and everybody's getting ready and we're taking pictures and everyone's like, oh my gosh, you look amazing, oh my gosh, you look this, you look that, you know. And then you go out and then some guy talks to some girl or whatever, and she's like, oh, or some girl tells you, oh, I really like that guy, and I'm like, okay, cool, that sounds great. Next thing you know, everyone's all excited, having a good time, and they're like, oh, why are you acting like this? I don't know, you're just sat there drinking a drink like that. Are you trying to like make this guy interested in me? I'm like, I thought we were all baddies tonight. I thought we were all baddies. So why are you now talking to me about the way I'm sitting here drinking my drink, minding my own business? I'm not even looking at the guy. I'm not looking at the guy. The guy's over there. What are you talking about? Well, you're just looking seductive. Like you want somebody to come over to you. It's like, I thought we were all feeling confident. I thought we were all singing all these lyrics about confidence and this and that while we were getting dressed, while we were doing pre-drinks and things like that. And now you want to come over to me to talk about how I'm sitting here on the sidelines minding my damn business. Just because I wanted to just enjoy the moment for a minute. I just wanted to take a break, to be honest with you. So I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter where you are. I can even give examples of, like, in sports and stuff, but I won't get into that. But anyways, you guys, life's game is way to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one. That, you see, this is cringy. Because I tried to press stop and it didn't. And then now I then spoke again. Somebody take this device away from